surface that could be seen beneath them. Matthias's true figure lies underneath a plethora of cloth and whatever other on-the-spot equipment he could do to protect his blessed visage by the machine god. Granted to him by the machine god. From these less understanding, more frightful creatures, those who have not truly been touched by the miracles of intelligence yet. Perhaps salvation will be in the future. Nevertheless, on his whip rests on his hip rests the sheath of a sword, with said sword being impaled upon its sheath. Heavy footsteps from loose metallic protective shielding that cover his body can be heard, clattering with every step. Due to his modification to his existence, he seems a bit hunchback. People tend to give him a wide berth. Is he diseased? Is he... he just doesn't look right. He doesn't have that normal shape a person would have. This is for the better. The less they know, the safer they are in their ignorance. As for him, he just looks left and right, studying whatever he can spot to ensure that he has the appropriate data to make the appropriate decisions.
Awesome. And Ripsaw, the other tech priest. Are you working together, or... You're muted there, Ripsaw. Okay, let us know when you come back, Ripsaw. Sergey.
You will
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, what do we see when we look over at you? Visually.
You are going to see a almost out of place guardsman covered in what would be typically found on, say, a frontier world that's colder. He's going to have a mechanical arm that's kind of wrapped up, similar to how Joshua Graham had his, where it's just covered in bandages, where it is trying to look normal, but it's not exactly looking entirely right. And that arm is kind of flexing here and there as he's trying to get used to it. You can see it twitching almost here and there. Besides that, he has his las gun out at the ready, just kind of at his side, and he looks extremely displeased to be in this weather. Very sweaty and ill-tempered almost.
Awesome. Jack.
You see Jack, who's a tall black man, who's you can kind of see the muscles underneath his clothes and cloak, and you can't really see most of his face because half of it is under his rebreather mask to help with the sand before it destroys his lungs or has later consequences. And he's just walking up there, has nothing to hide, and the cloak's just flowing behind him. And they can see all his weapons and materials on him, and he's just playing around with his new arm, seeing if he can lift stuff with it.
As you reach the top of the stairs first, with your long legs, Jack, a guard will walk over to you with a long piece of cloth. Take Todd then. He sort of reaches it around your face and then motions for you to tie it around your face and nose. With a smile, he sort of nods and gives a open palm gesture for you to take the piece of cloth.
Jack smiles back at him, takes the cloth, and wraps it around his face till he can see if it's a good fit from the guard.
it will cover your nose and mouth so you're not breathing the pure dust. Ripsaw.
You see a tech priest in red robes have been definitely has holes in them. Underneath those holes, you can see was a modified Tempest armor, stained red, of course, and you can't really see a face, more like a skull, and whatever bits of charred flesh is on there. This definitely should be scraped off with a knife, maybe. And you see the bright blue eyes of Ripsaw there. And right next to him is his trusty companion, Doggo, who doesn't really have much of his original pieces on him. He's mainly a robot at this point, but you can see what appears to be a small glass dome of his brain. And then, as you see his cloak kind of move around in the wind, if there is ever wind, you see just two mechadendrites behind him, just hiding there.
Sick. So this scene is like all of you guys one by one stepping to the top of the stairs. At least a dozen soldiers are standing there looking at you. As you ascend, you sort of arch up and look in epic pose towards the fortress, and the wind sort of blows your clothing behind you, and these soldiers are looking at you there as your plasma weapons and heavy armor shines in the sun. And Aquilion, would you like to describe yourself? Brad? Alright. Aaron, where is the Commissar?
So, Commissar is lying behind the entire group. His black cloak is flowing behind him. His peaked cap. Small beads of sweat coming down his forehead. And he is assessing everything that is going on at present. He has, as the wind blows past, you can see that he has a bolt pistol on his right hip and a power sword on his left hip. You can see that he is, frankly, not particularly impressed with anything that's going on, or their military stance. The fact that they haven't been challenged as yet.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome. What's your stance with Sergei? Are the two of you walking more so together as a commissar and a former guard? Do you feel like you have command over him, or has the hierarchy of the Imperium sort of left you at this point?
Well, at the moment, what he called the commissar actually sort of feels that he is actually in command. Yes.
So you'll be walking up with a clear stance, sort of pulling your saber, pointing, organizing people. What is trying?
Just walking along, what he called in front. What he called his boots would be going click, click, click whenever it actually meets sort of hard surfaces in a rather intimidating fashion.
Got it. Aquilion.
Although Sam is obviously there, not saying anything at the moment.
Aquilion. Alright. You walk towards the castle and 2 huge doors will open. As you walk up to it, you will note the cobblestone walls and huge black slick surfaces of this unusual looking fortress. You walk inside and several guards will they're ritual guards dressed in long red capes. They walk up to these massive doors at the top of a flight of stairs, and they begin to creak open. Several torches have been lit. You see some dignitaries inside, wearing what looks like these togas and tiaras. They look in your direction. They sort of have their head up in the clouds, looking down at you as you ascend the stairs, sort of like you're interrupting their important ritual. As you will step into the halls of Charny. Let me know if anyone wants to do anything at any time here. Just interrupt me. So inside you will see cobblestone walls, carpet floors, beautiful urns and decorations, leading the way into a giant welcoming chamber. You'll begin to see light from the windows, occasionally scattering across the ceiling, revealing these massive chandeliers and mezzanines above. Along the walls you will see braziers letting off sparks that illuminate these long red banners and guards in spotless armor. Soldiers will occasionally appear from the shadows, give you a slight nod. Some of them just seem perplexed. You can see busts, statues, and some paintings that depict the long story of this proud night house. As you walk through corridor after corridor, you can begin to sense a smell of fried food, incense, and some old wood as you enter the living quarters. Servants wearing aprons occasionally spot you, freeze, and then sort of pretend to find something important to do and just walk away with a brisk pace. Occasionally a guard will slowly raise his hand cannon as you ascend a flight of stairs or walk through one of the many decorated arches. As you enter this large open chamber, you can hear the slashing of a sword duel going on and the occasional as someone is sort of doing an attack that's audibly hitting the other person. And when you enter, you can see a man on his knees being kicked down to the ground, his metal armor screeching against the stone tile floor, sort of sliding across the floor, and a man raising his sword. Several men are dressed in old medieval armor, but you still see guards by the door carrying hand cannons. McWilliam, as you walk through the door, what do we see? What do you look like? Yeah, we can't hear you, Brad. Alright, you walk into the room. At the end of the room is a giant throne room with complex stone tiles, banners, and what looks like 2 plate armored statues. You can see what clearly is an elite group of soldiers standing there next to what looks like some kind of royalty or ruler. As you enter, do you make any special gestures or do anything in particular? How do you approach?
So I enter, I kind of like bow to whoever I think is in charge and just keep walking.
Aquilian will give a deep bow as he is covered in his black cloak that now shows signs of damage, as there are scorch marks that show the black armor underneath. He is carrying a old wooden looking staff that seems to have some kind of runes etched into it as he continues to step forward after bowing. And you can hear the wooding thud matching his heavy footfall as he begins walking forward.
Awesome. You all line up, waiting for something to happen. The elder there is just watching this duel as the man gets up, dusts off his clothes, and you can see some of them looking at you, their weapons half drawn.
Ripsaw's just going to nod to whoever looks in charge and just whisper to Doggos, like, what a bunch of primitives.
Awesome.
As
Yeah, go ahead, Ole.
I see the guards like looking apprehensive, kind of half raising the weapons, I just kind of nod to them and wave my hand at them.
The old man across the carpet, this long red carpet, will look at you occasionally, throw a glance and sort of raise his eyebrows, and then look back at the soldiers. Braziers flickering in the background. All of you are lit with this intense orange-red glow. As you stand there, you can hear the crackling of the fire in the distance. The room smells of burnt incense and wood. The soldiers will get up, dust themselves off, look in your direction, and just begin talking among themselves.
I would like to throw a quick glance if none of their faces are obscured to figure out what they're talking about, to read their lips, if possible.
Alrighty, do a linguistics low Gothic -10.
I'm gonna do a lexicography. Everyone knows Low Gothic, right?
Lumberjack?
Mm.
Oh, thank goodness I do.
Yeah, everyone knows Low Gothic, I think.
Mm-hmm. Be intelligence straight -10. That would be straight.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh boy, I know their language. I know all the versions of Love Gothic. Morten, why did you even ask me? Please, do you want me to proceed?
Yeah. So, what they're talking about is the fact that there was recently a burglary. They suspect that one of you is behind it. You can overhear one of them talking about his wife. He can't wait to get home. You gather that they have a regular family life, regular structure that you recognize. Most of them live in the city. There are several other holdouts of humans. Why is your hearing so freaking good? And do you hear any more details? Data Predator Matthias.
It is of custom that people, when they are in a relapsed environment, they lower their guard. Matthias follows the group a few steps behind them. Underneath his cloak, his form seems to change also slightly. The guards themselves pay little attention. Underneath said robes, From these small portholes, these small tears, from time to time a light appears, a metadendrite, a piece of glass, something to give him a better perception, better point of view at their lips. Their secrets spill as if it is ink on paper, and Matthias is there. Oh, is there no secret remains as such forever? Sooner or later, someone slips, and Matthias, as his name suggests, will always be there to absorb said knowledge.
Alright. Okay. You get an inspiration point that way. We don't need to explain ourselves. That was perfectly normal. You walk up and you hear everything in the room. The leader is called Xavier, and he is whispering to Salora, his second in command. You even hear them calling each other by name. Xavier will walk over. Salora. Yes, Xavier. You see everything clearly. Something has come over you. Perhaps your bionics are starting to work in mysterious ways. Perhaps the Messiah blessed you. But you just feel this total clarity. So you begin processing what everyone around you is saying. As you step forward, Xavier will turn around and look out the window. He still hasn't spoken to you, and you gather from the atmosphere that this is some kind of test or some kind of trying to figure out who you are.
The Matthias will bow 3 times as he fills his eyes upon him.
Ripstar's going to come up behind him and tap him on the shoulder. And, is that the planetary governor?
I know not their positions in the government, only their names for now.
Aquilian will lean in very quickly and whisper into Data Predator Matthias's ear. The gallant obstetrator said that when we found Xavier, to call him a coward and call him out to fight. He said that he is owed some kind of duel with the obituator, with the gallant Augustine. Something about the gallant Augustine's house still stands.
Thank you. Taking a step forward, the Predator will look at Xavier and say, Sir Xavier, we have a message for you. Should you allow us to relay it?
He turns around and you see an older man with a shining white tunic, grey pants and shoes. He is carrying a belt with a sword, surrounded by armored knights. His eyes are sharp, awake. He looks like he's been living a healthy life, and you can sense a kindness in his eyes. He studies you deeper as you approach. He seems very observant. He leans in and you can catch a glimpse of his true inquisitive nature and perhaps intelligence before he sort of raises his eyebrows and forms a dull expression. Oh.
Forgive my lack of your knowledge regarding your relations between you and the one that entrusted us with this message. But the message is as follows. Knight Gallant Augustine still awaits the duel between the two of you, and that he still stands.
A duel? Augustine, I don't recognize that name. I'm sorry. My name is Savior. What is your name? He reaches out a hand, and he's speaking Low Gothic in your dialect.
I will reach towards his hand. He will feel the cold, metallic surface of mine as I give him a firm but comforting shake as I change my accent to that of the common imperial standard and say, "You're quite an astute researcher, aren't you, Xavier?"
He laughs. Oh no, I have lived many years, but my senses are not getting any stronger. Quite the contrary. He sort of quivers on his lip as he turns around again and looks at the light. I am in no shape to duel anyone. He may have the victory. This night. He looks at you and you can sense a deep sadness in his eyes.
Aquilian will step forward and whisper into Data Predator Matthias's ear. I believe this knight was of House Senkada.
Does the name House Senkada, perchance, bring forth any memories?
Senkada. That must have been a long time ago. He begins wandering and looking out the window again. You mean Cyclodon?
Ah.
Yes.
He nods. Yes, the city is on fire. I didn't think anyone survived. But there is a knight?
It appears so, as I turn towards Sergei.
Well,
Apollon.
he looks around the floor, kind of confused. Tell him to come here. We have supplies and shelter. The room fills with an eerie silence. So everyone looks at you.
Quillian will whisper into Matthias's ear once again. I don't know if we could get the knight to come here, but if we could take supplies to him and help him restore his knight if he survived the fight we were in, then he might be able to work out some sort of deal. But we also agreed to him that after coming here to this place, we would bring down our forces. So we need to make some kind of alliance to really get him on our side.
He gestures for his chest and then reaches out an open hand again. Welcome, everyone. Please step forward. As he points to the back of the line. You are different than the ones who came before you. Rich men. Travelers, they said. Tell me about yourselves.
My name is Matthias Shaw. My rank is that of a data predator within the Take priesthood. I am unaware whether you understand the words I'm saying and the factions I'm referring to, but we came here representing the larger Imperium. Peace, as I move to the side and allow the other to present themselves.
Who were the ones that came before? Describe them.
From your crass voice, you can see his old instinct sort of jump in your direction, and his eyes flare open. Oh no, I am not sure. They told me they were travelers. It seems kind of uncertain, and you can do a charm test, Commissar, -10.
Is Commissar the most charming one?
Oh yeah,
He's the
can
one
see.
asking the question.
I am charming as hell.
Out of all of
Oh,
us,
no.
chances are that is.
Yes, Death Watch, keep your Inquisitors away from the Commissar.
Let's see. Let's see how this ends.
Sorry, I was running a bit slow.
Yeah. Oof.
Oof, close. Would you like to
Just to
inspiration it?
Would anyone else like to say anything?
Commissar Rickard is going to put up his data slate and go, did they look anything like this?
You can do a neutral charm test.
Don't fail.
Watch him get one.
Aaron?
Oh,
You're gonna want to inspiration. You're gonna want to inspiration that.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna. Oh no, I don't. I can't. I have no inspiration.
I'll give you mine.
I will pass him mine. I haven't used mine.
Okay, Rips was gonna give you his.
Yep. Good.
You had such a nice roll, I forgot you're the one rolling.
Oh, success with 2.
Sick. What do you do that is convincing here, Commissar?
So he's gonna walk up and go, these travelers, did they look anything like this? He's gonna basically just put his data screen in front of him and say, well, yes or no.
Well, what are you showing?
What he called the picture of an Eldari.
He squints. Ah, yes. I was referring to the humans. There were others like you who came earlier from another ship in the sky. He points out the
False
window up at the
ones.
clouds.
How aware are you of the things that are happening?
He forms a deep, serious frown. I am aware that you're from another world. Is that correct?
No. We are from the Ethereum, who have been trapped here. We are seeking to free you and bring you back into the Imperium.
He seems
These
very
others.
deeply concentrated. And what is your role in the Imperium, if I may ask?
As protectors.
Protectors of whom?
God Emperor.
As you say that, Jack kind of like walks up next to him and says like, you should at least tell him your name. Because you've not told him anything, you've just been asking questions and telling him what to do.
He will. Jack, he will say, this world will seek compliance.
At least
Forgive his rashness, Xavier. What he tries to relay in his infantile nature is that we come from many worlds. Very few of us share such a one birth world. However, there is an empire far greater that has in its clutches plenty of stars, with one worlds who give birth with and life to humans that allows them to further their intelligence. We are its wardens, entrusted and empowered to ensure the sanctity and safety of all the people of the Imperium. I hope this is a more digestible piece of information.
Ask one question. You
He
say
nods.
that there was other humans that came here before us. Do you have picked recordings or descriptions of them?
Salora will walk across the floor with his full plate armor. Answer the High King's question.
What was this question again?
Who are you?
Ah, yes. I'm Ripsaw. This here's Doggo. We're members of the Mechanicus back on Holy Mars.
And I am Jack. I am a member of the Adeptus Telepathica. And the commissar over there, who you've been talking to, is Rickard.
Sergey steps forward. And I am Sergey Potter, ex-sergeant of the Imperial Guard.
Our organization is called the Inquisition.
At the drop of this word,
Called
when you say Inquisition, the High King's eyebrows will raise. He looks to Salora, and you can see Salora becoming red as as a lobster. He takes a step back, clears his throat, and just looks at the ground. Xavier will sort of look halfway up at you with piercing, inquisitive eyes, and keep listening. You can tell that they recognize this word.
Do you have an Inquisition here? Or something similar, with the same name, but different purpose? Because I see you have a reaction to this word.
Ignoring you, he will look over your shoulder. And, are all of you human? My little friend. Come here. He leans down and his whole body sort of hits the ground in a kneeling position. He holds out his hand for Dago. Come here, little friend.
Ripsaw's going to allow Doggo to go up there.
He will pat
all
it on the head
members.
before noticing the cybernetics. Oh, yes. There is a spirit in here. But, is he living or machine?
He is nearly machine, but yes, he is. Still has flesh.
So, part man, part machine.
Indeed.
And what of you?
Ripsaw is just gonna unglove one of his gauntlets and hold out a hand, and then lift up one of his robes and kind of show off the augments of his leg, and his Mechadine Judge just start pouring, like just coming around his cloak.
Are you also part machine?
Yes, the Adeptus Mechanicus, of course, worships the machine god, known and as well as the All-Messiah, their emperor.
He looks down at Doggo and will whisper, "The machine cult." He seems to be remembering something.
Is it?
Machine cult.
Okay, come to heel.
The hiking will stand back up.
And Rickard's gonna start walking between the two of them.
Doggo, you may return back to here.
Savior will turn around and, lit up by the golden glow of the sunlight, he casts a long shadow through the room. He, with his back turned to you, he sort of reminisces out to the window. Beyond the sunset, there is a vast world built by our ancestors that we don't wish to know. He turns around and has a expression like you're supposed to know what he means.
Your ancestors. Is it possible that they too worshipped the machine god?
Perhaps.
Or is it possible, with the phrasing of a house, that you were in part of the Titans, the ones who mended their minds with machines?
You'll have a little conversation back and forth for a few minutes. Ripsaw, you can go ahead and roll a lore test for Mechanicus. Just a flat test.
Okay.
And he is going to roll.
The only thing that Rickard's going to say is, yes, but now you're back in the Materium. You are alone. Do you not wish the protection of the Imperium?
So Laura will take a step forward. Don't be so certain that you hold all the answers. Perhaps it is you who is trapped here.
Jack
That
kind
is
of
entirely
whispers
possible. But at the end of the day, in the long term, Imperium will be the one that outlasts.
Savior will slowly turn around with his palm raised in a calming gesture. No, Salora. They are warriors. He looks back at you. The Inquisition. We have long anticipated your return. I knew that I had to be prepared if the day should come. But I've since grown old, and he sort of takes a step, and you can see Salora drawing a deep breath, sort of in frustration. Yes. I can tell you.
Emperor's mercy is bountiful.
Centuries ago, we were visited by one of your predecessors. He left us with some warnings and a crate of information. Letters on the curse, the storm that trapped us here. He is going to walk over to one of his soldiers, who is already holding a small box. He will reach into it and pull out an inquisitorial rosette. It is unlike anything you've ever seen. You do not recognize its form and shape, but you do recognize the insignia and the materials used. Those of you who are provisioned in the lore of the Inquisition will recognize it as an ancient artifact, probably priceless in your world. This was left by him many centuries ago. What do you do?
Before reaching for the box, Matthias would ask, what was his name, if you don't mind? Was it perhaps the Ruli?
Tiroli. He mentioned that name, but it wasn't him. He sort of wanders over to Sora and they talk for a bit. He will turn around and begin asking questions about the Inquisition. Any of you who have forbidden lore Inquisition tests, -10. This is information that's been covered up by the Ordo Redactus.
Oh, look at you remembering names.
Yeah, all
4 degrees.
all of you speak fluently about the ancient past of the Inquisition, even though this is secret information. You've been digging where you shouldn't be digging. You got all the information, all the names, all the old terms. You recognize the pendant immediately as an old rosette used by the Inquisition. He will sort of end by leaning in. Does the name Alexio mean anything to you? Or the term originatus?
I would spend some time, Matthias would spend some time mulling this piece of information over. This is unaware, mayhaps a connection between Originatus and the original sin referred to in the Apocrypha.
Yeah, all of you would know that the Originatus digs into the history of the Inquisition. It's an ordo in the Inquisition. He looks over to the shrine and says, we found these in what he left behind before it was stolen recently.
Yes, we've heard that they break in and enter in has taken place. Your guards, they talk a bit loud.
He nods, looks over. Who told you that?
Your guards, as well as you, telling me your name, as well as that of Selora there. The machine god knows all, and in turn blesses us with its knowledge.
Head slightly tilted up, very serious, grim expression. He will sort of pucker his lips and look down at you. Yes. Some rotations ago, great vessels descended from the skies, and armed men flooded out. They promised to defeat the aliens, waving a scroll called the Warrant of Trade.
Road traders, merchants.
Do you have any relation to them?
No, I have no allegiance to them. We are, however, in a sort of a competition.
They said it was a symbol of supreme power on their world, that they were the leaders of your world.
I assure you that those are all but lies. The parchment you have seen only allows them to freely move between worlds and engage in trade. It possesses no symbol of authority, only privilege.
Really depends on which worlds they are allowed to go to.
And you... do you command them?
No, but we can always tell them no.
See. A complicated issue.
But of course, they might answer in turn with power.
He nods. A familiar problem. Others came from what called the Great Houses. You may find them in the city. One wished to read our history and study our libraries. I let them stay.
Excuse me, Your Highness. These great houses, do they have a symbol of some sort?
He closes his eyes and tries to... Seems like he's trying to remember. Yes, it was a symbol of a man holding a book with an equal scale behind him, and wings stretch out behind that. There was a fire at his feet.
I'm gonna... Can I make a lore test and identify my mind
Absolutely.
as House Rosa or Maimont? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I want
Do a
to-
navigator knowledge test.
Is it forbidden or...
No, this is common.
I'm gonna...
Scholastic.
Yeah, I'm
Use
gonna...
knowledge.
Yep, let's go. Oof. Nice save. Nice save.
Yep.
So, were we right? Watch it be neither of them.
Say again?
I put some bets on House Rosa, I would say.
Nice. He raises an eyebrow. Yes, that's the name.
Fuck yeah, I know my lord.
Nice. Do you know them?
Not
Wait.
personally.
Personally, the organizations that we represent have interacted with them, but we hold non-official allegiance to one another. We're acquaintances.
He nods slowly. They came with an unusual retinue of humans and animals, all manner of small creatures. Some of them are quite welcome with our children. He looks around and looks at Salora, who has a dead serious expression on his face. Anyway, yes, they're staying in the city. Should that be a problem?
It's none to us. Although you should be careful approaching them. They are much like politicians, I would say.
Ja, Tessie kinda hesitates for a second. Many of them hold great sway with our merchants, our nobility. I am not the sole ruler here, or I would have them imprisoned.
Fear not, Your Highness. We understand.
I suspect at least one of them of stealing this. His hand shakes as he slowly pulls up a scroll from the crate. It is a drawing of an old book, as well as what looks like several artifacts from an ancient inquisitor. These were stolen from our treasury right after your friends arrived. I have had my spies watching them, but we can't see anything suspicious yet.
I have a question. How were they able to get down here in such good order?
We never saw their ships, only in the skies. When they came on foot. We are not quite sure about the rest.
I give you this. It is a sign of the Aquila. It brings you into the Emperor's sight and into his blessings.
So Laura looks at him with a questioning expression. So Laura will step forward and grab the gift. What is he holding?
It's basically an Aquila with a chain.
He will hold it up to the king, who slowly grasps it in his hand. He looks back at you. Does this hold any special meaning? Power, perhaps?
Yes. Means that you are now in the Emperor's sight. He watches and protects.
Thank you. He will clasp it and put it in his pocket.
For Your Highness, Xavier, I wish to ask you. These possessions they've stolen, they were entrusted to you by our predecessors.
No. Many centuries ago, before I was alive, our ancestors found his cave. His friends have left him, but he decided to stay behind, even after the storm returned. This is all we found. These treasures point to something greater. We were just waiting for you to return and tell us what they meant.
And have they all been taken?
You can see a genuine sadness on his face. Not this symbol, but his journal. All the scrolls, all the notes that we hoped would make. Well, everything else. If you can find who did it, perhaps.
How
So,
how long
saying
ago
is-
has this happened?
Oh, only and he says what corresponds to a few weeks ago.
Has been the room been contaminated or mayhaps changed around by your guards? Or has it been left as is?
He nods slowly. Everything has been left as we found it. There was an assault on the fortress.
When?
He already told you.
Yeah, a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, I apologize.
I would like to, with your blessings, my lord, as this turn of events also affects us, we wish to re-entrust you with the knowledge stolen. I hope that if you allow us to pursue and investigate the crime that has befallen upon you.
He looks again to Salora. You can do a fellowship test.
Holy fuck.
Pure fellowship.
Hey, yo, I can do that. I can do that.
Go ahead.
You do it. He basically, as he says, the following intervenes and puts it more mildly, as for a moment Matthias's gesture seemed very accusatorial for a moment. Would you like an inspiration for that?
Yes.
Would you like to also use a faith point for a plus then?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't want to use a fate point, my man.
I quite insist.
You know, no. I'm using a fate point for that.
Okay, then reroll at least. Fuck me.
Damn, I should use the fate point, huh?
Does
You should
anyone
have
else,
used the faith point.
does anyone
Damn,
else want
if
to say
only-
anything?
Who's the highest fellowship?
Anybody else can try.
Anyone else? Anyone? Please, anyone.
Oh, sure. Why not? I'll try.
As long as you have fellowship, just try.
Shit! You have to be fucking with me.
Out of everyone. Oh my lord. Okay, Rips,
I'll,
what do you say?
I'll give it a batch. Hold on.
No, we got it. We got it. Fucking not to fuck me.
Ripsal has the various members of the Inquisition step up and propose to work for the High King. What do you say?
My big K. Look, listen here.
He doesn't know Technolingua.
Joking, kid. I'm joking.
No, he knows low Gothic, so it's good.
Okay. Alright. Your Highness, it would be beneficial of you to allow us to investigate for you. Surely there's knowledge out there that you are curious about. Not only that, Doggo has an appetite for knowledge.
Will you let our spies ask questions occasionally? Will you cooperate with us?
Of course.
You can see a sigh of relief and gratitude on his face. He will reach into his pocket and have a small symbol of House Charny, a medallion that he's going to hand to you. As long as you have this, you are our servants. It doesn't offer much authority, but people will know who you serve. They died here, you waiting for their ships to return many centuries ago. Your predecessors.
I see.
He looks down at the ground and begins fiddling with something around his arm. Ah, yes. The assault. It was not many days ago. I suppose they were just waiting to strike. It was an unusually dark night. The mist lay low over the city. Witnesses claim that they saw an armored man in a blue sphere flying through the window into the gallery. He took the notes left by your predecessor and left.
Intriguing. He's going to put the medallion around Doggo's neck and just kind of clip it onto him.
Do these people, do they reside over in the merchant district? Or more upscale part of the city?
I know some live in the plaza, or what you might call the merchant district. Others prefer more simple standards. We let them wander as they will. Perhaps that was a mistake.
It seems it might have been. Do you think
Perhaps now that
this,
you've come, all of that will end and we will find an understanding again.
More than likely, but do you think that the ones that have coalesced within the Plaza District are the ones that more than likely did it? Are they the most populous group?
He sort of retreats and you can see fear, very visible fear in his eyes. And you can do an awareness test, pure awareness. Yes, let's see.
Success was 6.
You recognize this from people who have been threatened, or are afraid, or are blackmailed. He's about to say something, sort of hesitates. You can see some pain in his eyes. He has a hard time trying to deceive anyone as an old man. It slips through the mask.
I hold up a finger to him as I walk closer, leaning in so he can whisper what he is going to say into my ear.
Several of the guards will walk up and point their rifles at you.
I put my hands up and say, if you wish to say this privately to me, you are more than welcome to.
He will lean in and say, I don't know, but there is someone here. They could be listening to our conversation. As he leans back, he looks you deep in the eyes and he has a very concerned expression. You can see fear. Very visible fear in his eyes.
Aquilian will lean in very closely. We'll see what we can find. And he's going to back up and return to Matthias and whisper to Matthias that there could be either some kind of listening device nearby listening in on us, or one of the members here are
nice. You get an inspiration point.
Jack kind of walks over to you. It's like, if you want to speak to him privately, you could just speak with his mind.
That would be quite alarming for someone who is unaware of the orb. Besides, people tend to be quite averse to when their privacy is shattered. Imagine if they cannot even be private in their own mind.
True enough.
Ulu, since you are so powerful, my friend, why don't you scan some of the minds of the guards here and see if one of them might be the spy?
I think they could probably feel someone feeling their mind. I'd much
So
rather not alarm them.
Russo pulls out his Auspex scanner and just starts scanning the room. And he's going to scan through the wall.
I will immediately stop him the moment I see him reach
You
for
pull
a
out also
scanner.
scanner and you begin hearing it sound as you sort of scan the wall slowly. Will you try to stop him?
Yeah, I the moment he reaches for that scanner, I just stop him immediately.
Got it.
Let's keep up the facade, colleague. We don't want them to know that the king has any intentions to turn cold now, do we? I say this in Terna a more refined version than Ripsaw is known to speak.
By the time you look
Okay.
back, Salora is leaning in and whispering in his ear. He sort of turns around and... yes, Salora, my good friend, he met with the aliens. He tried everything, but he had a vision. The men said that they ordered his army to disband, and the Eldar let them go. The visions come and go, but as long as we do what they say, the aliens never lay a hand on us, even though they could.
And what have they been saying here recently?
They have left us alone for the most part. Though many have died, I still see them as invaders. But for now, they have left us alone.
You see them as they
So-
truly are, King. The reason they haven't assaulted you may chance be due to the fact you possess something that they want and they have no way to reach it yet. That force itself will not be enough to obtain it. These visions, or Salora may have seen, they could have been tampered by witches from their species.
So,
Which
what you say is that aliens have touched your world and you have let them go free.
Solora will look at you with a very, very stern expression.
He'll look back at him with a very, very stern expression.
This meeting is over.
I don't think it is.
I will immediately put a hand between Salora and well, they're not that close, but in between their line of sights and say, very well, Lord, we will take our leave. However, to which should we coordinate our investigations with?
The High King again sort of reaches out a hand. No. They seem to be looking for something. Digging underground and into the mountains. The aliens are... They
Where?
still haven't found it.
Can you tell us where?
Do a command test, -10. You can choose between command or intimidate.
Said -10, yeah. Oh, failure. Just about.
I am not entirely sure. Just rumors, really.
Out of curiosity, do any of your legends say when your ancestors met our predecessors? In which cave exactly?
So when was what you're asking?
No, where exactly?
Where?
Hmm.
He looks down at the crate again, puts all the treasures down, and looks back up. That's what we're not sure about. You see, we've also been through a long war. Most of our cities and records have been destroyed. The aliens did their part, and our own foolishness did even more. Much of our ancient knowledge is lost to us. And perhaps you can help us uncover it.
We do. We will. Jake.
He nods. Thank you. I always thought you would return one day. But now that you're here, I can't quite believe it. Everything you've shown me is convincing, but please forgive me if I still have my reservations. You can stay here as long as you wish. I trust that you are who you say you are. There's a beacon near the city. I know you've used it. Well, I know you'll do what is necessary to protect us. And please tell me what you know. He nods and walks forward. You will probably want this. I recommend taking a stroll through the streets. Get accustomed. If you wish to have your friends land, like the others, should be able to accommodate at least some of you. Just know that some of our citizens are more welcoming of visitors than others. He will hand you a scroll, and you sort of catch a glimpse of a map and some notes inside. He nods and waves you off. Would you like to do anything else in this room?
Ripsaw is going to have Doggo just like wander off. I just told Doggo, but Doggo, you are free to mobilize around.
After being informed that they may have someone listening in the room wherein I would pay more attention to people, seeing if their interest is more piqued than usual, although expecting to find nothing. Perhaps Matthias thinks that someone will slip eventually.
As you walk around the room and try to
Rickard's just gonna
listen to people,
Sorry.
one of the servants will walk up to you and whisper in your ear. If you wish to go somewhere more private, I can lead you to your private chambers.
Thank you, servant. It is not necessary for now, although we might call upon you later.
He bows.
Pretty weird that a servant has offered us private chambers and not that king himself. Either way.
You get the impression that it was prepared ahead of time.
My apologies. I was about sorry. I'm very conspiratorial. I'm seeing the assassins everywhere.
Okay, what do you want to do?
I would suggest, dear comrades, that we investigate the scene where this journal has been taken, as well as whatever artifacts has been left in the coffin which bears this ancient insignia of the Inquisition.
I concur.
Very well. King Xavier, if you would allow us to examine the scene where your possessions have been burglarized.
He looks very concentrated and serious. Of course. Would you like to rest first? Perhaps have something to eat?
Rest is for the wicked, and our duties are yet to be done.
He
Perhaps
waves
later.
Salora over, and you all walk. As you walk out of the Grant's chamber and the large stone doors, he sort of turns to the side and will begin chatting to whoever is nearby. My father had great faith in your ancestors. He said you would return one day and, well, everything would be put right.
You must be the prince, then.
Oh, this is a long time ago. He walks you through several other chambers before you finally reach a long room with several glass displays in the middle. They are sort of angled so you can see inside. As you walk across them, you can see several treasures, what looks like ritual knives and old artifacts from prehistoric time. In the middle of it is a huge broken glass window. Several icons have been taken, and what looks like a holder for a scroll has been sort of pulled out of the glass chamber and is on the floor. There is a huge open glass window, sort of angled 45 degrees near the ceiling, that is completely smashed open. They have hung various what looks like wooden plates sort of on the top of it, and then some cloth underneath. The floor is covered in broken glass, reflecting the candle light that is burning in the room now, late at night. You can see symbols and statues around you, armored knights standing by the doors. Xavier enters the room, and there's a cold breeze blowing through the window. He looks distraught by this. You can see him turn pale. They were here, and one of our guards was killed instantly.
Do you still have the body of the guard?
I am sure they can help you. He's buried near the... well... He motions for Salora, and Salora will take you out into the courtyard, into a what looks like a morgue. On a stone slab, he will show you this man, pale, with a large open hole in his chest.
I would let Ripson deal with this matter.
Ripsaw, you can do a common lore tech at -10.
And just say, what do you call it, above, what do you call it, Commissar Rarick as what do you call, cocked his pistol and drawn it with a feeling of unease.
Nice. So, Ribson, do a -10 tech test. If he's not here, then anyone else can do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
fuck
Ripsaw
that.
stepped away.
Yep.
Oh, Sam.
Alright. Hey, Sam.
Hey,
Anybody can roll this.
Come on, gents. Come on, come on.
I ain't got any tech skills.
I can't do that.
Okay, I'll use Infuse Knowledge. No assistance? Got it.
I'll give you assistance.
Do you possess Infuse?
Quillian,
Yeah, I
roll
got
tech
use.
use with 3.
Yeah, success with 3.
Common lore tech, not tech use.
Oh, come on.
They were disgusting.
Ah, fuck. I'm gonna inspiration it.
You want me to just take a poke at it?
And feel free to also roll. Holy shit, he
Hold
rolled
on.
that one.
Nat 1, 7 degrees. Jeez.
Jeez. Okay, Brad, Quillian. You inspect the inside, and I actually need to look up the exact weapon that was used. Not only can you see the type, you've seen so many injuries that you're absolutely sure of the Imperial designation of this weapon. And it is... Let's see here. It is a plasma gun. It has
Okay.
melted his steel plate armor, burned straight through him. It was used on overheat setting, maximal setting.
Aquilian takes a knee, begins pointing to the crisped outer edges of the armor. You see this? This is plasma wash right here. This is from a plasma weapon. Seems to be some kind of pistol used on Maximal. You see how it's cauterized outside of this wound? Look at that. You can even see the rib burnt to a crisp. Only plasma guns do this. As
Awesome.
Aquilian looks to the rest of the group.
You get an inspiration point. And you have a clue.
This world doesn't seem to have plasma weapons.
No, which means that
So,
our inquiry into the other people here on this planet is very important. From what I was able to gather earlier, I think I already have a place in mind that we should pay a visit.
Well, this is only about the first room. Still have to search the crime scene in of itself.
Solari will step forward as you say this. Do you know who could hold this weapon?
We assume, and please feel free to correct us, that you do not possess weapons that can create a blue ball of fire that can immolate its victims at range.
Quite.
Correct?
So this is evidence that one of you did it.
Well, I wouldn't say that it's one of us, but an off-worlder for certain.
You
be
can
careful.
you can tell disdain and hatred in his eyes as you say that. I knew we were making a mistake.
Fool.
Fear not, though. We have promised you full disclosure, and hiding such facts will prove fruitless in both our roles. Nevertheless, we must continue. The truth always reveals itself. Going to the crime scene. Gentlemen, please feel free to investigate. I was first asked Samuel. As you see, this you know he's a tech priest, but the disguise he wears, he covers most of his more alarming features with either metal or cloth as he approaches you. Samuel, would you please be so kind as to fetch a ledger of items that have been missing from the treasury? I am presuming that they would be less inclined to disclose their secrets, but I am trusting in your charming personality.
Fetch them. The low stick flapping about in his mouth. I suppose I could. I'm hardly an errand boy or anything like that. But
No.
I'll do
You
as you
must-
wish.
No, I wouldn't dare do something for someone in your position. Just convince them to offer us their ledgers. We must be aware of what has been stolen so we can discern what exactly the people that broke into this palace were interested in.
Very good. That tracks. But what makes you think that necessarily they keep these ledgers? I mean, if they're stolen, and then what makes you think that they don't necessarily cover the tracks? After all, it could be the armor, it could be somebody on the inside, after all.
Well, we do know that there are people on the inside that work not necessarily for that change. People tend to notice when things go missing, especially things that are placed exactly in a treasure room heavily guarded. They don't just let things disappear without especially such rare artifacts as not to describe them in exact detail or at least do a bit of inventory.
As you say that, a gust of wind flies through the broken window above and some candles go out. The servant will walk over and light them up, and you can see behind you a couple of nobles are in the room as well, listening to your conversation.
Let's take this somewhere else, and take 2 fingers to remove the low stick from my mouth. I'm going to lead the way, and I'm going to snuff out the low stick in a candle holder. Just going to leave it there.
Where do you want to go, guys?
To the treasure room to investigate that crime scene. I presume we're here.
That's where you were.
As we pass like those nobles that were listening, I'm gonna mind read them.
Alright. Do a, well, you have to use a power for that.
Just don't roll doubles.
Don't.
Yeah,
roll doubles.
it's telepathy for that one.
Roll.
Roll flip. Okay.
Oof. Damn. I still think the target isn't accurate, but yeah, that's definitely a success.
That's pretty good. The two of them will be discussing back and forth what was stolen. One of them will say, or will say something in kind of a code. Saying it flew out of here. The other one looks back kind of surprised, and you can read his mind that he's thinking about the outerworldly flying thief, the ghost. His association is to a ghost. Whether that's what they call him or what, you're not sure.
So they have a name for him. Useful.
Where do you want to go?
Oh yeah, are navigators psychic, right? Or at least somewhat.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Yeah, can I
basically.
do a psychonics test to like see if I can know where their location is?
You don't have that kind of range, so it wouldn't be
Oh,
fruitful right
okay.
But what you can do is use Cynesians, no, Cynesians, to see if any psychic powers were used in this chamber.
now. That you can do.
Yep, I'll do that, yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh.
Aquilian does it before you. No psychic powers were used here. Whoever was here did not leave a psychic signature. So you can rule out that they were a psyker.
You see Aquilian reach a hand up to his temple as he closes his eyes and peers down towards the cold gray slab of concrete. Yep, nothing. No powers are used here.
Okay, it wasn't one of them, or at least, well, it wasn't them using powers.
Yes, we know about this.
I could meditate on it, but I don't know if I should do that here since they don't know my powers.
I wouldn't risk it, not at the moment. Besides,
Yeah.
we wouldn't dare overstay. For the moment, let us see. I would look up at the broken window, decorative window that allows the wind to blow through. Do I see shattered glass on the ground in this chamber?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they came from the outside in. I turn to the resident guardsman. Sergey,
Alrighty.
how fit are you physically?
I would say I'm well off. Let's see. I would say I'm well set physically.
Okay. I would like to see if you are able to reach that. Actually, how big is the distance from the floor to the window?
About 7-8 meters.
Oh, 7-8 meters. I think we can do that. Can you climb through the window and assess things from the outside?
If you hold my stuff, yeah, I can give it a try.
Very well. Try not to break your neck.
I'll do my damnedest. Alrighty, acrobatics.
So you want to try to do a flip up there?
Not doing a flip, I'm just going for a jump.
Yo,
Oh, damn.
I'm doing this.
Jump 7 meters. Alright.
is
I think
viable.
It's gonna be
they're all
hard.
they're my man.
Do a minus 40 in the acrobatics test.
Minus 40 acrobatics, let's see.
This is just to see if you can do like a trick jump off the wall or something and grab one of the lower ledges.
Oh shit,
Mo-
it's fucking other way around. Okay.
Yeah, it's
But
the other one.
that is a success.
No,
No,
it was
that's a fucking plus 40. It didn't do minus.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it was still a success, I think.
Oh my god, that's a success.
Oh, dang, dude. Nice. Okay, describe this to us. What does it look like?
so you're going to see Sergey just shoving all of his clothes off, making sure it's just kind of like basic fatigues. He's putting his gun aside and everything else. And you just see him rubbing his hands together, rolling his shoulders back and forth. And then he just goes for it. You see his foot press up against the wall, and he just goes up a little bit, kind of stops just on a small little crease, and just pulls him up the rest of the way.
You're not going to jump 7 meters, obviously, but you can grab one of the lower sort of wood scaffolding that has been built there.
Yeah, that's
Grab
what
it
he's
and-
going for,
Yeah.
and he's just going up just parts at a time.
You hang from it and then pull yourself up to the next one, and the next one, and the next one.
It's like he's the prince from Persia.
At the end, you can see Sergei hanging there, deep up in the ceiling. It is quite dark, just a little bit of moonlight sort of illuminating him, throwing this blue shadow around him. He will grab the entire place and you're now hanging from it. What do you do?
I shout up to him, Sergei, do you see anything, any marks?
It's beautiful up here. I see the stars.
Markings
Let's-
on the roof, soldier.
It's dark. Hold on.
Well, that is fantastic, but where is your weapon?
I can't climb up here with that thing. Hold on. I'm looking around.
Indeed, you are defenseless.
Sergey just looks
Now
back down, and then
explain yourself.
he just keeps looking around, trying to see if he can say anything, see anything. But every once in a while, every time the commissar speaks, he just looks back down. Just give me 1 minute.
Also, no. I mean, you can see these wooden plates are completely blocking the way, so it's impossible to climb out. You can't try to force some of them open.
I'm just sit, move up to where I'm kind of sitting on that little raptor that I'm on, and I'm just give it a gentle little nudge to see if it does anything.
Do a strength test.
You have 3 seconds to explain yourself.
I am going to use my last inspiration point. Damn.
Oof. No, you grab it, try to pull. Nothing happens. You're still hanging from this piece of wood.
Alrighty.
Sergey, did you find anything?
Nah, there's something up here, but I can't push it open. It blocks the only way I could see out of here.
Okay, don't worry. I have plan B. As the tech priest laughs, he originally sent Sergei as a demonstration of how the flesh is weak and incapable of doing anything besides betray one. However, to his surprise and to Sergei's he has been totally surprised by Sergei's determination to prove him wrong, yet finally he has been betrayed by the coffin of flesh he pilots around. Nevertheless, from his backpack, a servo skull flies up to join Sergei as he gets a better view.
I think I have carry capacity. I could use my gun so I don't get yelled at by the. And I'm speaking to the servo skull, by the way. Does that thing, can that thing carry my gun up here so he can stop yelling at me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. I would do that just to piss off that commissar.
So
Now
it's
I'm
like
armed.
a small flying skull will fly down. A little hand will sort of pop out of the side. You can see Matthias putting a gun on it, and it flies up to you. Red eyes illuminating creepily from the ceiling as you grab the weapon.
Sweet summer child, you think that makes it okay?
Either way, the servocal has no optical transmitters. However, you can instruct it to give you a better view. He may remove objects as it's technical in nature, not aspects.
I'm gonna point out the little thing I was trying to move a second ago, and just let him have at it.
Righty.
The anti-grav generator plates underneath it will cease to function as from its base these tentacle-like legs begin to attach themselves to the place you've designated. A small buzzing begins as it lowers it where the neck should be, and you can hear as it begins to chat.
Medical mechanic, right?
No, tech servos roll.
Ah, nice. Okay. Yeah, you can all hear this grinding of the wood as it slowly cuts away, and you can see a small piece of wood fly down into the room. A small work light will go on, and you can see exactly where the saw blade is hitting. It's cutting with surgical precision. A square just large enough for you to fit, Sergei. The wood planks will fall down on top of each other with a hollow, echoey sound. As you look through the hole, you can hear this whispering of the wind as you see several stars up at the night sky.
Y'all watch my stuff. I'll be right back. And he's gonna slowly make his way through it and look around.
Awesome. As you reach the ceiling, you can look down, and it is a beautiful view of the city from up here. You can see a carnival going on, people dancing, torchlight lit all over the city. There's just flow of beautiful, tranquil yellow glow. From the ceiling, there is a sharp edge straight down. There is no place to really place your feet properly. So you're just leaning out of this hole, looking down. You see some objects at the edge of the roof, as well as something at the corner of the building that catches your eye.
Hey, Matthias, can you send your servo skull to go see what that is over there? It's kind of around the corner, maybe a few meters off. Keep your servo skull like away from the building a little bit, so we can get a better picture of that.
And the servo skull is not equipped with recording data. It is more of technical in nature. However, as I reach towards the stained glass and look towards the king, may I borrow this?
The king is gone. Selora is still in the room. He looks at you, and what he is trying to borrow exactly?
A broken piece from the stained glass that was shattered.
He will ignore you for a few seconds and then just shrug, like he doesn't care.
I will then attach it to the servo skull, to its manipulator tendrils, and it will fly back towards you to give you basically an angle to see through the hue of the stained glass.
Okay.
As
And
I can do.
okay. Mind if I give you directions and you can use that? I can use some magnoculars and maybe we could see around the corner.
Exactly. Besides,
Alrighty.
the servo skull is instructed to study your gestures and move appropriately. Feel free to use it.
Go about 10 yards out that way and point that glass towards that corner over there.
Servo skull look at the glass, moves the glass around, does what
Yeah.
you say.
So the glass
Sergei.
gives a very poor reflection, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, Sergei's gonna try getting a little bit better view quality with his magnoculars.
Yeah. Looking down, you see what looks like a picked recorder at the corner of the building. You're quite surprised when you see this, as it does not look like any of the technology you see elsewhere. There is some amount of effort done to hide this recorder. It is sort of built into some concrete. Just peeking out around the corner, you see it slowly turning back and forth. This looks quite advanced, to your surprise.
Sergei is just going to look at it for a second, put his magnoculars down, take a second look, make sure that he saw it correctly, and then he's gonna poke his head back in. They have cameras here. We could
What?
probably figure out who broke in. They got a camera over there on the corner.
Matthias, don't be stupid. There is no way they have cameras.
Come up here and look. If you got a
Okay.
camera, if you got a camera, send it up here. I'll take a picture of it.
To be fair, I could have used a picture recorder and attach it to the servo scroll. But
Yeah, you killed, totally killed.
Okay. I'm gonna take that picture recorder, put it to the magnoculars where it can see the camera, take a picture, and hand it back to the servo skull.
It's technically possible. We don't need to go through the whole scenario, but you do the thing. You do the thing. You get a picture. When you get it back and you look at it on the data slates, it flickers for a little while. It is very dark. At first you see this red light. So for a few seconds you see a non-standard but undoubtedly surveillance picture recorder.
Can anyone here identify the model? Can anyone here identify the model?
Hey, can you send that servo picture recorder back up? I want to take a few more pictures.
As I detach the picture from the picture recorder as it does a printout and then send it back to Matthias.
I'm gonna take pictures of the city and the stars.
So Laura will walk forward, grab your hand firmly, Matthias. Whatever you saw out there is between us. Do you understand?
I look very inquisitively at him, but say nothing and nod.
You catch a beautiful panorama photo of the city with mountains in the background, picturesque small cozy villages, sort of this small shanty town to the left, a large church straight up ahead, a large reservoir up and to the right, and this massive stone wall surrounding the city. Get a pretty good idea of where everything is.
These are beautiful. I really need to get into this hobby more.
Do you see anything? If not, return.
I'm gonna return it. Can you print those pictures off for me? I'll get them later once I get back down there.
Nice.
It better be valuable intelligence.
Inspiration point. So yeah, eventually you're gonna drop down with a thud, and all of you can see this photo of a picture recorder.
I would basically I don't need to do any gesture, but I can use with my mechanicus implants as well as my internal.
So Laura slowly walks up to you, standing there in a circle. If you tell this to anyone, I will personally end all of you.
I want to.
While he's saying this, I'm just start reading his mind because I want to know why he's doing this.
I'm sorry. Pardon me?
I will end you. Not a word.
Excuse me, sir. If I may ask a question.
You would
He just turns to your direction.
Immediately, as I sensed Commissar's frustration, I would go towards him very confrontationally and say, Commissar, think rationally for a second. We're outnumbered, outgunned, and we're this close to gaining favor, so we may call down upon reinforcements. Think before opening thy mouth. Show that the Omnisci has blessed you with a modicum of intelligence.
As he's saying this, Jack comes up behind you, whispers in your ear, I could erase his memory of us ever finding the camera.
Also, if we're being serious, how old is this building anyway, sir?
This fortress was built long before my time. 3, maybe 4 generations ago.
Oh, that's fantastic. I just see everyone being a tourist right now, so I felt left out.
I immediately check my chrono. My chrono timepiece. How long until he has discovered that we know about the camera? How much time has passed?
About 30 to 40 seconds, maybe.
Oh yeah, I can erase all of that.
When does it become dangerously impossible?
I can erase up to, I'd say 3 hours without any risk, but that might be too much because he's gonna wonder why it's 3 hours later.
Yeah, no,
So I'd say I'd erase the pinpoint moment and see if he recognizes anything missing.
Should
Sam.
maybe not ask him what's on film?
I would go towards Quillian and say, perhaps Sam is more capable of subtly extracting this information. He's quite persuasive, aren't you?
Sam's away, hunting away at the ledger.
Shit.
I could try to read his mind, but he'd have to be thinking about this. Actually, you make him start talking about this. I can probably read his mind and peer deeper.
Beyond
So
standby.
I assume
go search
you go to the corner of the room and whisper this to each other?
Yeah.
Okay, a few more minutes has passed in that case.
I'm gonna go towards Salera and say, you seem quite defensive about this. May I inquire why?
As if he's holding his breath. There is much you don't need to know. If you wish to help us, do so. But I will not give you information that might put us at risk.
In the background, you just see Ripsaw holding up Doggo, and he's just taking pictures through Doggo's eyes.
His,
Literally crime scene investigator.
yeah. Doggo's like walking around taking pictures of footprints.
Yes, Doggo, take a picture of that painting right there. It might go well in the album.
Does he have... I will ask him. Are you mayhaps threatened as such as your father?
He
I'm
looks
reading
down
his
at you
mind,
and
so you
raises his chin. I am not threatened by you. I command hundreds of men.
It is not by us, I'm referring to someone else.
He raises one eyebrow. No one in particular.
Any pings?
Any pinks?
No, I'm referring to, sorry.
Oh yeah, I wrote it in
Chat.
a chat, so he can like keep talking. Then after this, we can like meet together to see if I learn anything.
Okay, sorry, I forgot how that power works. I will continue saying, you said this castle has been constructed a long time ago. And
I know what you saw.
yes,
And what of it?
it may possess intelligence clues of who was responsible for this breaking and entering scenario we find ourselves in.
He sort of looks slightly away from you. You can do a...
I don't expect to succeed, by the way.
Yep, you can do a scrutiny test, -10.
Oh, I can expect to succeed that. Success with 3.
Nice. He looks at you and sort of looks like he's a little bit resigned. Well, I suppose you know. We possess powers greater than you suspect. But there are others who must not know.
Such as the other visitors, or the Xenos.
Indeed.
However, you seem to possess a certain target in mind, don't you? Someone special, of special faction.
He looks dismissive. No, I know that it was one of you.
Either way, are you able to share this data with us? Or, more exactly, are you willing to do so?
Do an inquiry test -20.
Fuck!
All you have to do is get him thinking about it, and I can tell you later.
I know, I'm not planning any of this shit.
Is there a guard nearby?
Yep.
You know what? I can do this with clues and clues up from the crowd, which I got just from my divination. Might as well use it. I mean, it's free, right? Yeah, same result. Failure.
In the background, if anyone is looking, they'll see Ripsop just posing with the guard right there as Doggo's just taking pictures. Ripsop's being a true tourist.
Yeah, no, this conversation between Salora and Matthias is going on in private. He says as little about it as possible. What do you do?
Says little about it as possible. I would like to talk more about the history of the building. Just common inquiries about the building, like where is the throne room, how was it designed by the dungeon, basically invoking whatever he knows about the palace itself.
Yeah, so he starts talking about the palace.
Who would you think that had any interest in assaulting, in repossessing your property?
Salora will look to the window and the broken glass. I don't know. Perhaps someone looking to sabotage your investigation. Perhaps one of your enemies. He asks that as he inquires into you. And you can do a deceive test.
Ah, sneaky bastard. Wait, does he get a penalty for me being a tech? Please, at least give the fucker a -10.
Sure. Do a deceive. After talking about the building a bit and chit-chatting, he again looks around and looks at the data slate, a little worried, but yeah. What do you want to do?
Well, I failed my deceive, so he may gain a piece of information. Unless he also failed.
He will know that you have no idea who did this.
Okay, what else could I ask so he could invoke any memories?
I mean, he's definitely thinking about this, so if you want to do a thing, Jack.
Oh yeah, I rolled it a while ago, but you want me to roll a new one?
I don't care. What do you want to do?
Well, either way, I finish my conversation for now and return to Jeff so he can tell me exactly what visions he saw from his mind, what he was thinking.
I'll just roll a new one. If I succeeded, based on your PR, it tells you more and more secreted stuff. Psychic rating.
Oh, close to a double. And of course, he succeeds with a fuck ton of PR.
Yeah, just always call out the results because I'm looking at other screens,
Okay.
so I don't see the dice.
Success with above
yeah.
6, I'd say.
All right.
Morn, are you hacking?
What exactly are you looking for in his mind?
Oh, in his mind? Oh, you just have to tell me. It just says that a DM tells you. And the more PR you have...
Yeah, but you have to look for something.
Oh, yeah,
So-
Well, anytime he, like, switches the topic to, like, more specific stuff, I'm digging deeper. So, like, when he said scared of somebody, I'm looking into his mind to see if he has like, anything, like, pops up or flashes up. And when he's, like, talking about, like, the building and stuff, I'm looking deeper in his mind to see if he knows more than just the camera and stuff like that.
So
I'm basically looking for all his secrets. Just all of them. If anything I see pops up.
He's a very concentrated, focused man. You can't gather any information by just surface dwelling in his thoughts.
Oof.
Damn it. So it has to be more specific. I have to go deeper, but then he would notice it.
Yeah, if you want to mind scan him, you're gonna have to basically put your hand on his head.
It's like, I'm sorry, but his mind was extremely focused. I couldn't pierce through. I might be able if I'm able to get my hand on him, but he would be really suspicious then. And then I'd have to erase his memory after, which would make him even more suspicious. So,
Yeah.
Do you still want me to erase his memory, or oh no?
No, not at the moment. Yeah.
Because I can't erase his memory after it's 10 hours past. Once it's 10 hours, I can't touch it anymore.
It's okay. It's whatever he knows, it will either assist us or we have asked him enough as he is genuinely aware of our intentions. If we were to erase them right now, it would be more of a detriment to us.
Yes.
Okay, well, I will look. Any more marking? Would Sam return by now with the ledger? Since he mustn't have done like for more than 40 minutes.
Oh, he's muted. And his headphones off.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Laura will slowly walk to the door and turn around. I shall retire. If you wish to stay here, I suggest that you retreat to your chambers.
Of
the
course,
guards will become suspicious.
Very well. Can you provide us a list of missing items?
Sort of makes puckers his lips. I can tell you right now.
Excellent. As I pull a device and give him a microphone from my auto quill, please speak clearly.
The only thing of importance is the diary. Your predecessor left an ancient forbidden diary. Within it, we suspect that the secret of the storm and the curse lies hidden.
Yet, what about the moved items amongst the room, as well as, and excuse me if I wasn't paying attention, the other missing items, if they are any?
Well, there was the forbidden diary. Was the one of your symbols, the necklace, and a few other trinkets. I believe an ink pen and a pouch. Yes, that was it.
Nothing distinguished from them. This ink pen and pouch, correct?
No, that was it.
Thank you. Very well. If you would provide us a servant, we would like to retire to our bedchambers.
He just quickly points to the door by the guard standing there, turns around and walks out. The guard will walk out the door and lead you up a cobblestone spiral staircase leading up several. It gets darker and darker until you find yourselves in an exquisite chamber. You're surrounded by beautiful paintings, carpets, open windows. There are several large beds, wooden cupboards, looks like some kind of game, and candle light everywhere. Murals on the walls, paintings, chandeliers in the ceiling, and several rooms along with a bathroom. You're all left alone there as the door closes behind you with a thunk. It is quite dark and in the middle of the night. You can see stars glittering out through the window. There's a smell of old cloth and candlelight. As you walk across the wooden floor, it creaks under your feet.
This seems like the right place to look into the warp, right? There's no one here, no cameras, and you can all watch the door.
Very well, if you are certain that no mishaps may appear.
I'd suggest we check the paintings to see if there's any hidden cameras, like they had that hidden camera on the roof.
To my knowledge, Ripsaw possesses a scanner of sorts.
We should scan the entire room, and what the hell are you talking about peering
That
into
would
the warp?
Look, whatever we decide to do, best be about it. I already have a target in mind for us to go and investigate.
It'll only take me 30 minutes.
Give me a moment. As he pulls out his aspect scanner and starts scanning the.
Ripsaw, you scan every surface of the room. The adjacent rooms, there is not a single piece of modern technology here.
Is it clear?
This room is barren of all
Don't be serious.
technology. I absolutely hate it here. And he pulls out his bolters like this place needs to be freaking modified and
We'll
modernized.
do that
to
when they
benefit.
join the Imperium. You
I
must relax
care-
yourself.
I care less. They must be modernized or be terminated.
What do you think, Matthias? Do you think we should go and investigate those suspicious people I tracked down earlier?
At this point, Jack just goes on the bed and starts doing Scryer's gaze.
Matthias.
What do you want to do, guys?
I'm doing
Matthias?
Scryer's gaze, so in the 30 minutes, you could do whatever you want.
Could we take care of the ledger situation really quickly?
Yeah.
I think that's the next logical thing. And since we are separated, just wanted to make sure that I had the time to do that in the interim.
Absolutely.
So I head over to the record keeper, and I'm going to just light up another glow stick. I'm going to head into there. It's kind of musty smelling, and I kind of turn up my nose, and I approach whomever is there. Good day.
Now the ledger, what are you referring to by that?
In regards to the missing the missing artifact, the missing weapon.
Missing weapon.
Was that not the case? Did I completely mishear?
I think yes. Yeah, I think you would misheard that. Did anyone else? Does
Yeah,
anyone else
because
know what that?
yeah, that was what Matthias was referring to. He tasked me to gather some information from the ledgers.
Matthias? Are you here?
Hmm?
I don't know about that. I don't know anything about that, so cannot
Yeah,
answer that,
there was
unfortunately.
a missing item. Was the long and short of it.
Yes, there's a missing diary, primarily as well as a medallion and a pouch.
Just some random people from off-world in the
Um,
closet.
if there's a missing diary and all that other stuff, would it be personal property or historical property?
Historical.
In that case, I'm going to head over to the library and try to piece together where that kind of information might be. I'm going to speak to the librarian and see if they have any kind of information in regards to that or
Awesome.
have any kind of contact with that.
Yeah. So it's the middle of the night, obviously, and everyone is asleep. However, you can access the librarium in the mansion if you would like.
No, I'm going to conduct my own research. I'm going to kind of stroll about. If it's a missing diary, then I would assume that it would be a part of biographical history or something along those lines. And I'm going to look in that section and see if there are entries by an adjacent author or some such.
Are you going into the city to find a librarian? Or are you looking for one in the fortress?
No, I'm assuming the fortress has this item.
Yeah, absolutely. You will explore the lower floors of the mansion. Walking around with a servant by your side, you might eventually ask or inquire about a librarian. He doesn't hesitate or try to stop you. Just tells you to be quiet as you walk across the creaky wooden floors. The rooms are empty and dark. As an investigator, you do find some kind of excitement in this, walking through these abandoned old mansion rooms. You imagine all the important people that would have sat in these chairs and all the stories that are played out here, before he finally opens two big wooden doors leading into a giant librarium. There are just books from floor to ceiling, large open windows, and you begin sort of walking along and trying to read the shelves. You can do a linguistics test, -10.
Would it be high Gothic, low Gothic, or would it matter? High Gothic, I presume.
You can choose.
Okay.
And depending on that, you could choose what section to go into, whether it's more formal writing or informal.
Okay. And it's -10?
-10.
Okay. So that's a flat test. And flat success.
Sick. Alright. So, you're looking for information about the history of these treasures. Sort of archaeological pieces. You begin reading about the history of the night houses. House Charny were cooperating with visitors long ago. Kind of the same story that has played out previously. You can do an intelligence test. If you have pair knights, you get a bonus. That's a talent, pair knights.
I do have pure knights, but I forgot to write it down. 1
No
second.
worries. You get a plus 20 on that talent test. You're sitting there alone in a leather chair, a little small candle next to you. The servant will be more than willing to help you find the right book. As you dig through the shelves. Yes.
7 degrees.
She will pull out a large tome. It's a story about the ancient visitor, the inquisitorial agent of the Originatus. Apparently, someone visited this world long ago. They were looking for the history of the Inquisition. Apparently, from what this author gathers, they were looking for a thing that gives rise to new worlds, or that can terraform worlds from nothing. The rest of the ships and the cruisers left orbit and disappeared. As the storm was returning after the small hole had opened, the escape tunnel closed in behind him. Realizing that he was not going to make it out in time, he decided to stay and document all of their findings, both about the storm and about an artifact they were looking for. The diary contains all of his notes that he gave to the ancestors of House Charny, especially to give to anyone from the Imperium who were to find the planet later, if the storm seceded again. The display in Fort Charny has been there ever since. It's called the Forbidden Diary because no one is allowed to read it. Only the High King can can give it to through sort of storytelling to his descendants and so on. This predecessor also gave them gifts of great foresight, and they have they talk about a hidden gift of foresight that they were given by him. This is to be kept secret even to the people who live here. Only the High King has this knowledge, and with it he will protect his people. This is accepted by most of the citizens living here. Do you want to look for anything else?
So this lost diary, it's not necessarily stolen is the implication, correct? It's just simply lost.
No. So, the Inquisition was there many centuries ago.
Right.
A person was left behind. He wrote a diary about all the notes, all the things that the Inquisition learned. He gave it to House Charny. They had it up until just a few weeks ago. They had the diary with all of his ancient knowledge. A few weeks ago is when the window was broken and the diary was stolen.
Okay, so it is outright stolen. Okay.
Yeah. Along with everything else from this Inquisition agent. Who's long dead, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Yes. That's about all you're gonna figure out about that from the surface information here. There's a lot of legend about it. Most of them depict him living in a cave far away from Charny itself. That many of these secrets were buried in ancient vaults and locked down for posterity.
I'm going to look at a few maps and see if I can find this cave, being that the vaults are unlikely to be accessible. I doubt that they trust us enough to go into them, for they might have things that are unrelated that they would betray. But after looking at these maps, how far would it be from our present location, this fortress?
You get the idea that it is weeks away, far away, north in the world, in desolate mountains in the north. That's the way it's described. Deep in the mountains in the north.
I'm going to use my fingers to kind of measure it out, and I'm going to mutter under my breath, damn.
Awesome. You get an inspiration point. By the way, the scroll you were given, that you haven't looked at yet, that's the map of, among others, the world, the planet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the High King gave you a map.
I'm fully prepared to use it just afterwards.
You could say that you have it with you.
I'm going to look at the map itself and see if there's any kind of hidden information inscribed, or if there's been any kind of hidden ink or otherwise kind of hidden message on the map itself.
Yes, you can do a let's see.
Probably.
You can do a any kind of trade that has to do with crafting things, if you have that.
I don't have any trade that would be like that, but would archaeologists be somewhat relevant to this?
That fits.
Okay.
An archaeology test.
Okay. Flat archaeology.
Yeah. Or cryptology, I guess. No,
success with 2.
Success with 2. Excellent. There's some text scribbled on the map. You get the impression that this was used by someone else to investigate and take notes. It notes that the city of Cyclodon was attacked recently, and that the aliens were spotted near it. There are also some important engines that they were considering retaking. You can't see exactly what cities they're in, just that they're in some more modern cities. These are buried underground because of how valuable they are, and from what you read about them, they seem to be reactor cores. Is the closest adjacent information sort of that you have from your age of technology. These reactor cores, from how they're described in the texts, sound more powerful than the reactor cores that you have. They power, among other things, the knights that they use, and large factories and so on. A part of the agreement they made with the aliens was to bury these powerful engines. And they are left there to this day.
So I was also going over this book with a pair of gloves and barely touching the pages so as to preserve it as best as possible. Would it be possible to look for fingerprints on this tome and see if I can have anything that I can pull?
Yes. Do you have anything to extract it with?
Oh, that's a good question.
That would be a chemist kit or something of that sort.
No, I don't have something like that. The best that I would have is
Blasted jump from a disguise kit if you have any.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a disguise kit. Yeah, I don't have anything relevant to that. I think that the closest would be a picked recorder. If I hold it close enough, and if I have maybe like some dust or something like that, I'm going to improvise something to pull up like a first order kind of fingerprint, see if I can't match that against something else. So I'm going to grab a bunch of like dust and kind of carefully pat it down, and then I'm going to lean in very, very closely and kind of blow away at several sections of it, see if I can reveal, because it's only been a few weeks, possible oil on the surface.
That's awesome. You get an inspiration point. The parchment is so dry that if there is a fingerprint error, you would need some advanced scanner to read the slight markings that were left by oils or fat or anything like that. Simple dust will not reveal anything at all of interest.
Sure.
Yes. You blow it off and the parchment is left the way you found it. You do take note of the entire world though, and you're in the librarium, so you have time to read about anything you would like. You get the impression that this map was updated at least not too long ago.
I'm going to go into the same section and see what I can find about the reactors. That seems like something that may possibly be I'm trying to put together some kind of link between those two and see if it's relevant. That might be what they're after ultimately.
You can do a Forbidden Lore Archaeotech test, -10.
Okay.
Is it okay if Ripsaw walks into this scene?
I will say that this is such a special event that it would be unlikely.
Okay.
Sam is walking around alone and made that clear. So.
Okay. I didn't hear that.
But you could always call him. You have a microbeat.
Okay.
You could always call
I
him.
guess I'll call him up. Samuel.
Ripsaw? How may I help you?
I've noticed that your presence is not here.
I've spent quite a bit of time in the underchambers, the library that is present, and I've found some valuable information, or at least some scant details that may point at what we're looking for.
I see. Some mechanical... something... good in that nature.
I have a lead that I'm checking out, but I don't know if it has any promise. As I pull another book from the shelf, check out the title, and go, bah, and I put it back on the shelf.
Awesome.
Well, that's great news. If you excuse me, I have to yell at the servant. They brought the wrong leg for a doggo.
Treat that animal well, my friend.
Oh, I am. Especially, I'm trying to find a female for it to gnaw on while we wait. Unfortunately, they brought him a pathetic chicken bone.
You always made sure that doggo is well fed, and I applaud you for it.
Well, of course. He was given to my care by one of the highest members of the Mechanicus. Then again, I was chosen by Doggo.
So I'm just gonna kind of chuckle.
Odd how machinery and animal end up as a higher ranking than oneself. Is it not?
It is. It would make sense considering he barks orders at you regularly.
Was that supposed to be a pun?
You've caught me red-handed. Gonna hold up another book.
Then where's your son or daughter or your offspring? Because that was definitely what the ancients would call a dad joke.
Dead silence comes from the microbeat at this point. You can hear some heavy breathing. Never speak ill of my family ever again. No sense of irony, just completely deadpan.
I mean, no.
I warned you this exactly once.
I mean, no offense to you, Samuel. But I must admit, that was very much a dad joke.
I suppose it was. And to you, it's the last one I'll ever speak. I've got to continue with this now.
Very well.
Over and out.
Over and out. And the last thing you hear is just a click of a bolt or pistol.
So I'm going to spend a good amount of time looking exactly for this book on the reactor, and it's just going to be kind of the thing that I'm going to look for is kind of like esoteric and kind of mythical things. So just things that are kind of out there, things that are more rumored than fact. And I'm going to try to work through that kind of text.
Awesome.
Those kind of texts.
Awesome. Do you have Forbidden Lore, Chaotic?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
That took forever.
No problem.
And I get a +10 from Conditioned Intellect.
Yes.
2 degrees.
Fantastic. In fact, there is a surprisingly large series of books on technology. It surpasses what you might expect, even from seeing the pic recorder. It seems that the people here have an ancient cult that they keep hidden. They keep it hidden particularly to prevent anyone else from competing with them or targeting them because of disadvantage. But they have very strict religious rules for how they can operate. So first off, they have barred them from entering the surface. This cult has to stay underground. They are fed a very specific diet, trained in isolation. The technology is to be tested, approved, hidden, and only used to benefit the house. The technology, you get some impression, was gifted to them long, long ago. Books that they're still uncovering the meaning of. And you can do, sort of to get an idea of when these books are from, you can do a history test. That's a scholastic lore test. That's it.
Flat success.
Yep. The cult is given certain information, and some of it seems to be from before technology was controlled by the Mechanicus. So this is truly ancient technology. Some of it based on what you know on this topic, it's likely that it surpasses anything that you have today. It is stripped of much of the superstition of the Mechanicus, much of the rules and the limitations that they have. The technology is easy to produce. There are no sort of obscure limitations on how it is to be constructed. And in theory, these people have access to technology that exceeds even the Imperium. You have ventured in deep into the librarium, into a section that you would have to be a scholar to look for or be interested in. And you're sitting all alone. And about the reactor cores specifically. The reactor cores were built long ago. They have at least 3, maybe 4 remaining. The reactor cores will operate when installed. You get the impression that the people there know how to use them and have used them for both food production, water, energy, many other things in the past. When the aliens invaded, they hid it underground.
So, while I was away, I had also performed multi-dimensional geospatial analysis. Would I have found anything in regards to those same aliens trying to... Were there particular areas that were drilled recently?
So, several sort of digging holes were found on the planet. The aliens have dug, among other things, under cities. They have dug in the cities that contained the of a clear electrical signature that they would have found. It does not seem like the aliens have any interest in the reactor cores, from what you can see there at least. They're looking for something else.
At this, I'm going to snapshot the tome, and I'm going to head back to the entrance/exit. But I'd also like to just kind of mull over it, and I'll use Flash of Insight and see if I can connect the clues here.
See within the fate point and reveal a clue. Which of these elements do you want to try to piece together? The what the aliens are looking for, where something about the inquisitorial visit, or something about the secret cult, or something about the reactor cores?
The inquisitional visit.
Okay. So there let's see what exactly you would be able to piece together. So sorry, I wasn't expecting you to go this deep into the thing already. but it's not. It's good. It's.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it as quick as I can. I'm
It's
not trying to
awesome.
hold
You're
up the rest of the
speedrunning.
group.
You're speedrunning this particular thing,
Yeah.
like finding a fucking librarian in the mansion
You're going deep into history, the lore.
and covering all these fucking clues. Oh, it's awesome. Let's see. You would you would be able to know that the Originatus that this agent belonged to, specifically looking into the ancient history of the Inquisition. Whatever secrets he uncovered had to do with the ancient history of the Inquisition itself. And the ancient history of the Inquisition is tied into this world. This is the first world that was discovered in Askellon. Something happened here that the Inquisition did that was covered up by the Ordo Redactus. The Ordo Originatus was sent here to uncover it, or a rogue element of it at least, in order to try to figure out what caused the pandemonium, this warp storm that is surrounding the planet. At the importance that he puts on this diary, you guess that he found something profound and important that he would have wanted to give to his predecessors, and that information would be priceless to anyone in the Imperium. Just the fact of having an ancient inquisitorial diary of someone who seems to be quite high up in the Inquisition, along with this medallion, there is no price that can be put on it. And that was what was stolen.
At this sudden realization, I'm going to freeze in my steps, and I'll realize that I read a passage that was immediately relevant to this in the tome from earlier, and I'm going to run over there immediately, and I'll use Breakthrough.
Nice.
So that's a -10 logic for a flat roll, +10.
Awesome.
5 degrees.
Remind me about Breakthrough.
It's an additional clue.
Oh, this is this your elite dance, Tommy?
Fuck! Yeah, he's the only one using it. God
Is
damn.
it? Is it? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's like my second time using it ever.
That's sick. That's sick. I totally forgot that was the thing. Okay, can you just read the description on that for me?
Yeah.
Sure. Fuck. Please.
I haven't seen it in forever, so I just... Okay.
So after using a fate point to reveal a clue, -10.
Oh,
logic
yeah,
check.
yeah.
That's the summary.
Sick. Okay. So, you piece together that he was trying to uncover something from that the Ordo Redactus had kept hidden. There is in the texts there are references to a treasure that he's trying to find. You gather that much of the history of this world has been falsified by the Imperium. The Ordo Redactus did a massive job to cover up what this planet really is. The Ordo Roganatus only went here because they thought it was crucial to dig it up. The agent also, this ancient agent of the Inquisition, also references the goddess Danu. That she will whisper secrets to anyone important that she wants to fulfill a goal. She is trying to attract someone to this planet in order to fulfill a prophecy. And he will reference that Danu said that she is imprisoned. You remember that the people on this world worship Danu. There's a temple to Danu in the city. You can go on and do other things, and I'll let you know if you find out more.
Okay. So as I find out this information and kind of piece things together, I'm going to run my finger, and I'm going to break open the tome. I'm going to rifle through a number of pages before I find the exact entry, and I'm going to run my finger along it. And with that specific text, I'm going to break out the map again, and again use my fingers to kind of measure the distance, and go, got it.
Yeah, from where various entries are and what his journey and so on. And yeah, what are you looking for? What?
Oh, nothing. That was just flavor.
Okay. I thought you
Yeah.
were triangulating,
No.
Okay.
So I'm going to use the picked recorder to take a quick image of this. I'm going to slam the tome shut, put it back on the shelf, and I'm going to run back to the personal quarters.
Okay. One
trying
last
to keep
thing.
the knowledge fresh.
Sorry. One last clue that you would find. The host Charny has an ancient power that they use to see into the future. He spoke to someone in House Charny who he suspected of being a psyker. But after investigating it and asking around, it was obvious that they discard any child born with the curse, as they call it. And there was no sign that they had a psyker at all. What he theorized instead is that they have some form of technology or ancient artifact that has allowed this night house to maintain their power and equilibrium to this day, and that they still had it while he was alive. They were of course hiding it from him as well.
As I run back to the quarters, I'm going to say through the microbead, through panting breaths, to the quarters now, everyone. I've got critical information. And you're just going to hear him kind of pant away.
Awesome. You get an inspiration point. You'll see Sam running up the creaky wooden stairs. Opening the door, sort of slowly slides open, closes with a light thunk, and he walks across the floor as the moonlight sort of scatters through the blinders of the windows. Those of you who are awake will of course look up with loaded weapons, only to see Sam's long coat in a silhouette in the door.
I'm gonna slam close the door, not paying attention to how rude I'm being, and I'm going to quickly say, "Is this room secured?"
According to Ripsaw, yes.
I'm going to break out the picked recorder as well as the map. I'm going to lay it on the table, weigh it down with some counterweights, and show them the picked recorder, the map, as well as what I've discovered. And I'm just going to kind of rant for a solid 20 minutes with what I found as well as my conclusions.
Awesome. You all learn about the theoretical cult underground, keeping ancient technology. The Inquisitor who was there, who was left behind, who found all this information. This oracle or device used to tell the future and so on. Hidden reactor cores, etc., etc.
Wait, how much time has passed?
I think that while we were doing this investigation, our investigation, Sam was doing his. So it would be like maybe an hour after you went to sleep while me and Ripsal
I
were
was doing
playing.
I was doing the gaze thing. Yeah, that's why I asked how much time has passed. Yeah.
It's the middle of the night. What do you do?
Oh, I rolled it like a while ago to do the gaze.
You're in a
stuff.
role-playing scene, so in character. You guys are
Okay,
in
in
the
character,
room.
you just
What
see
do
a
you do?
Jack still meditating over his bed, just levitating there, looking through his looking at his staff, like, and then he's in the warp spiritual place and moving around trying to figure out what happened with the book and the journal and figure out who stole it. And then he hears the noise of Sam coming in and slamming the door and start explaining. It's still just looking through the word, barely listening
What
to
do
it.
you do, guys? Go ahead.
Sergey was sleeping in his bed, but when someone slammed the door, he immediately rolled out and is staring at the door, almost prepared to deal with anything violent coming through it. Slightly paranoid.
Matthias himself was in discussion with Ripsadu in regards to the nature of intelligence and other spiritual discussion, while the sudden burst of Sam appears to have gained his attention. Eventually, after many explanations later, and a breathless Sam finally finishes reporting what he has found, Matthias looks very pleased to have gained such insight. Goes to Sam and says, "You have been truly blessed by the machine god. Shame you're too old to receive its gifts."
Not all of them, and he's going to reach out with his mechanical arm, put it on Matthias' shoulder.
Good quality. Must have cost you an arm for it.
He's just gonna break out in a bellowing laugh, and it's rare that I laugh loud like this. It's a testament to your good humor, and he's just gonna kind of squeeze a little bit, give you a little tap on the back.
Yes. Yes. You must be the second person that has laughed to any of my jokes. Either way, this has brought great foresight that will surely affect our decision making going forwards. Nevertheless, we should first accomplish the thing we were sent here first to do. Establish an inquisitorial foothold. Using the beacon, we will signal some inquisitorial forces to fall upon the planet. And certainly the Inquisitor himself will dispense them appropriately after giving him the accommodations that this kingdom may offer. Or regarding their plans, either way, the first mission objective will be done. This journal this disappearance of this journal, we have already known that it belongs to an Inquisitor, a former Inquisitor, one whose order opposes the Redactores. But with what Sam brought us, it appears that not only it has great importance, but it could be the very key that could lead to the saving of Askellon. I must commend you. You have done a great boon to the Inquisition and me personally, Sam, as well as all of you. Sergei, Jack, Ipsol, and Aquilian. I see why the Inquisitor has partaken in your set of skills and has attached you to his retinue. And here to think that the Inquisition was just a bunch of morons playing pretend they're intelligent. Consider me very surprised, delighted. So,
awesome. Your mechanical voice sort of hums through the room as everyone is slowly leaning back into their chairs and beds. As you sit there and give these half-formal speeches and declarations about how proud you are of them and how far you've come, and the unity here sort of talking it into the room, everyone slowly leans back, and one by one you will fall asleep. Even the data predator will need to shut down for a few hours, as you will walk over to something soft and lay down. The last thing you see is out the window, this fading moonlight slowly goes down as the sky becomes dark. And as you drift into sleep, and I'd like to go on further, I think we can put a bow on it there, if anyone has anything important to do.
I don't think you can last any longer, to be honest.
My voice is almost going out.
Yeah, you need some water, my man.
Hey bro, can you voice act my character? Your edited voice is excellent.
I need to voice out all of you and my characters. That would be fucking great.
Come on, bro. I'll just write in chat what you need to say.
Yeah. So you fall asleep, and does anyone have an interesting dream?
Of course, I dream of getting murdered by demons. You know, that temptation's always there.
Well, then we're gonna continue off when you wake up in your beds.
Yeah, Tech Priest going to sleep.
If you wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.